It has been a journey. You know, most of us, we think it became fashionable to be a gender-based violence activist. We recently have seen everyone. It's actually on. I'm also on an SGBVF space, but with me, it's a different story. I was minding my business. I was doing other things, but I was active in the ANC when I was growing up, and I survived. I was gang raped, and I never got justice. I went through domestic violence, which I never got justice either. I stayed in a shelter, and in a shelter, it's where I saw how other women are treated, especially women from other countries. Sanga, the struggle of women, it's the same. It doesn't matter whether I'm raped, I'm from Zimbabwe, or I'm raped, I'm from South Africa. We are going through the same pain. But when we get into those institutions, when we get to the shelters, that's where the difference comes. You will be treated differently because you are South Africans, you have your green bar ID. And a Zimbabwean, a Congolese woman will be treated differently because they don't have their document. And sometimes they are kicked out because the requirement is that you open up a case so that you are accepted in a shelter. You need to have your documents. Most of us, when we go to the shelter, we don't even have our IDs. But because we are in the system, we are privileged, then they will be able to send us to Home Affairs, and immediately it will pick us up, then our IDs, we will get our temporary IDs. But with women from other countries, it becomes difficult. There's no abuser who will abuse you and then say, I'm giving you your documents to go and seek help. Obviously, the first thing they take is the document, so that these women don't get assisted anyway. So when I was sitting in the shelter, I look at how we are being divided in one struggle. I told myself that when I leave the shelter, my first responsibility is that no sister will walk the journey alone. It doesn't matter whether she's pink, she's purple, she's blue, she's from South Africa, she's non-South African. But if she's going through what I went through, she won't walk the journey alone. So that was my commitment when I was still in a shelter. So that's how I started being active after a shelter. But I never registered. It took me years. From 2011, 2012, I only registered in 2018. You know why I stayed that long? I wanted to be sure that I'm doing this out of passion, and I really want to do this. I didn't want to register for resources because that was the most of what I saw. People were registering so that they can get resources. I didn't register, but I started fighting cases. My first case was in Kuruman, where a little girl of 14 years was impregnated by the stepfather. And when the mother passed on, the guy wanted to marry the child. So that was my first case. Had no resources, had no registration, had no name. I followed up the case and guy was arrested. Then we never stopped. That's why we are working countrywide, and we also work with migrant women. And we are looking at also being international. Though resources are a challenge to go national and international, we are assisting cases from other provinces while we are in Gauteng. We assist women from other countries. We are part of the movement now of the lesbian and gay women from other countries that are coming in South Africa. What I went through taught me to be humble and understand other people's pain more. That's why I'm doing this work. I'm not doing this work because it's fancy to do it. It's fashionable. I'm doing it because I know the pain. I know how does it feel to go to court, try to fight, try to ask question at the magistrate, why is your case not in court, alone. I know how it feels to walk the journey alone. So that's why I'm doing this work. And I chose Tosunga Baninga, which is Lingala, because I wanted to unify the struggle of women. I wanted every woman to feel at home. The minute you say, I'm from Tosunga Baninga, a woman from Africa feel home, like, oh, this is the person I can talk to because she's not going to be judgmental. We know what we are going through, isn't it? We very xenophobic. We have a xenophobic problem in our country, and which I sometimes feel like it's not xenophobic. I think it's black on black violence. We hate black people, we hate one another, or we hate ourselves so much that when I see the next black person, I don't want them around. So with this name, I'm trying to bring us also together to educate, to make sure that we know that we are one people, we are Africans. Before I'm South African, I'm an African woman. Tosunga Baninga means I'm helping you to help other people. So with us, if I help a victim, I'm helping that victim and their family to help another person. We are also educating. We are also lighting the fires of how do we rekindle activism and Ubuntu, whereby if I help you, I'm not expecting you to pay me or to put me in the pedestal, but I'm also educating you to go out there. If you find another person in need, help that person, and also educate the next person to help another person so that we can have a better violence-free and happy country. I got married when I was very young, and I was in my early 30s when the abuse started. Actually, my abuse started after I was raped. I think my partner didn't know how to deal with a woman who has been raped. After the rape incident, he started behaving differently, and he will project his anger towards me until to an extent that I would get beaten. I will be blamed. Remember, I was raped at home. I was minding my business. I was at home. I was not even in the streets. Most of the time, people will ask, where were you? What were you doing in the streets at night and whatnot? But I was attacked when I was at home. So it got worse to an extent that he started not buying food for us in the house. This particular Friday, I went to this policewoman. I related my story. And she said to me, why don't you go back home? And I said, it's not easy to go back home because my parents are of Statilobol. We've accepted the Dory prize from the man's family. You can't come back here. And the wise woman pray about issues. We pray about them. I prayed about them. We went to the mountains. We did everything. The abuse kept on going worse and worse every time. I was suicidal. I tried to commit suicide twice because it was like the family don't understand, because the pain was getting too much. Instead of them saying come back home, they will rather buy food for us. When I had a husband who was working and I had little kids then,